I've been waiting for you all here on the beach. Welcome to Death Stranding 2, everyone. The release of this game has completely snuck up on me. I had no idea it was coming out anytime soon. I loved the first game, so I'm really looking forward to seeing... Matt, this is Beach Baldwin. Hello? What you have in your hands there is a PlayStation 5 controller. To use the controller, press the buttons and make sure the controller is turned on. Oh, for God's sake. Good luck. Bit patronising, wasn't it? Come. Oh, Matt. Yeah, this is Beach Baldwin. Yeah. If you carefully touch your head with your hand, you'll notice that there is no hair there. Nor should you expect any hair to grow there in the future. Oh, for fuck's sake. Good luck. That was a bit mean, wasn't it? Calling me up just to... Oh. Matt, this is Beach Baldwin. Yes, you should know that death is inevitable. It will come for all of us. And your existence on this planet is totally meaningless, regardless of what you do. Good luck. What's the point, man? He's right. We're all going to die anyway.
See the sunset, the day is ending.
I really hope I don't have to talk to Die Hardman at all in Death Stranding 2. Right, yeah, so this game, I had no idea it was coming out until a week or two ago when was there a PlayStation event? I don't know. So I was just like, oh god, I thought this game was like years away, but it's here. So I've got a bunch of speculation. I know that, long intros aren't a great idea, but it's a sequel, right? And, there's a depth of story and lore to consider before the game, and because I haven't watched any of the trailers, I don't know what direction it's going to go in. So I've got a bunch of predictions I just want to talk about, but they've put in a little recap. If this is Kojima, this recap will probably be about 3 hours long. But let's have a look.
Perhaps you remember me. That's right. It's Dead Man.
Yes.
The world, as you know, is in awful shape. And it's all because of the Death Stranding.
Okay. So we're just getting... Maybe it's just going to be all audio? I'd be happy with that. My memory of the game is pretty good. And I've been playing bits of it again on the PC version, so...
The dead started to find their way into our midst, crossing over from the other side. We call these entities BTs, beached things. When they came into contact with the living, the result was instant annihilation. A void out, leaving nothing but a massive crater in its wake.
You imagine if they got Die Hardman to do this narration. I would have just walked off.
But that was only the beginning. Strange rain fell from the sky, rapidly aging everything it touched. A phenomenon we came to know as timefall. Structures would rust and collapse, and people grew old in an instant. The world transformed into something completely unrecognizable.
I'll move the camera based on where the UI stuff is.
Those who survived these changes came to fear both Timefall and BTs alike. They withdrew into the remaining cities, which in turn closed their doors to outsiders. People ceased to travel and stopped meeting in person. They grew distant from one another and became further isolated. The social, cultural, and political bonds between humans began to crumble.
It was interesting because I played this game after COVID, after the pandemic started, so it was a different feel to it, right? Felt a bit too close to home in some ways, right? Yeah, I'd be interested to see what kind of presence BTs have post Amelie sort of segregating her beach at the end of the first game.
The Death Stranding was hastening humanity's extinction. Seeing this, Bridget Strand, the last president of the United States of America, founded Bridges, an organization committed to making America whole again and providing a future for all humankind. However, Bridget died before she could realize this ambition. It was you, Sam, who took up her cause and resolved to see it through. Sam, the humble porter, who also possessed the unique powers of a repatriate. The one and only person who could save humanity. So with Bridges' Cupid in hand, and accompanied by the bridge baby Lou, you embarked on a journey across North America.
That we did. That we did.
Of course, you had struggles of your own, often phosmophobia, or the fear of being touched. The despair of having lost everything was just too much. But despite it all, you strive to bring people together.
Yeah, my predictions for this game do centre a lot around Lucy, because I don't think I found all of them in my playthrough, but I have since read all of them. The Lucy's Report, I think that there's 12 of them. You can go and, I would really recommend, maybe if you're not playing the game, if you're watching the game, I'll talk about them obviously, but if you go and read Lucy's reports, there's just like 12 short little reports about how Lucy met Sam and everything that happened afterwards, and kind of about how she died, or supposedly died in my head, I guess.
By extending the chiral network across the length and breadth of the continent, you would enable the rebirth of the United States as the United Cities of America. You were also to rescue Bridget's daughter, Amelie, who had been taken captive by terrorists. These were the vital missions you were entrusted with, Sam.
Oh no!
Your friends at Bridges, did everything we could to support your efforts. There was our director, Di Hardman,
John,
a close associate of Bridget, who was dedicated to fulfilling her final wishes. His commitment to American Reconstructionism was absolute, and for that he was named the first president of the UCA.
On a serious note though, considering how much remorse he felt for what happened, there's a chance that he actually will make a good leader, really. Because if the fact that he was so distraught by what him and Bridget had done, I think it is a good sign ultimately, right? Because, yeah, if you show remorse, you show regret, then that could shape your future actions, right? As long as he doesn't just keep calling me, I'll be happy.
And of course, Sam, the incomparable dead man, yours truly. I'd like to think we became the best of friends. As you may recall, I was born from an artificial womb, and over the course of my life, was the recipient of numerous organ transplants. I've always got on with the dead. I used to be a coroner. Anyway, I pushed myself physically and mentally to help you and your BB, Lou.
So I guess, I mean, I know Deadman, that doesn't mean Deadman was born in the same way as a bridge baby, but I guess he sort of makes him a bit similar, right? And it makes him and Sam a bit similar in a sense. Obviously Sam was conceived in a natural way, but then it's mid-term, isn't it? The bit that the bridge baby gets put in the pod, so somewhat similar in a way.
Mama and Lakna were twin sisters, as you may remember. Skilled scientists who developed the Cupid, which was essential for chiral network expansion. A personal tragedy caused the two of them to grow apart. But they've since reconciled, with both their souls residing in the same body.
Yeah, I've really, really enjoyed their story. Yeah, Mama having to cut the cord was a very powerful scene, and it's sort of similar to how the Matrix handles the reframing of sort of things that sayings that you have. The sort of things about twins, right? Sort of little sayings people would have about twins, notions about, knowing what each other think, what they're going to do and stuff, and then linking that to the heart and car idea was a really cool way of reframing something that is already in our consciousness, right?
Ah, Hartman. Every 21 minutes his soul departs his physical form, and for 3 minutes his body is clinically dead. During this temporary death, his soul is sent to the beach. That's why he knows more about the beach and the Death Stranding than anyone else. His knowledge proved indispensable in the execution of your mission, Sam. Fragile. Leader of the private delivery outfit, Fragile Express. Exposure to timefall caused her entire body from the neck down to age significantly. It was the mark of a terrible betrayal. Higgs, a former comrade, used timefall as an instrument of torture, you see. To no surprise, Fragile was hell-bent on getting revenge. But after meeting you, Sam, she had a change of heart. As your friends, we would stop at nothing to see you succeed. But ultimately, crossing the continent was something you had to do on your own, with only Lou for company. And with no end to the forces that stood in opposition. Deadly BTs, unforgiving terrain and unpredictable weather, ruthless terrorists. The list goes on. Without a doubt, your greatest enemy was Higgs. Convinced that humanity deserved to go extinct, he kidnapped Amelie and tried to torment you and countless others. But neither he nor anything else could stop you from achieving your goal.
Well, I would say our greatest enemy was that mountain with all the snow, to be honest. Higgs was quite easy in comparison.
The chiral network was finally completed. The bridge to the future was built, but your ordeal was not yet over. You had to learn the real nature of the Death Stranding, a secret that Amelie had kept hidden from us all this time, and a terrible truth you had to face. But you accepted this final revelation, Sam, and did what had to be done. America rose from the ashes as the UCA. And as the people celebrated your accomplishments, you carried out one final mission in secret. To save your BB. To save Lou. You removed the child from the pod that was their prison and began a new life together. And so it was that the two of you vanished without so much as a trace.
Yeah. Interesting. No actual pictures of... There were no pictures of Clifford Unger there, were there? Interesting. Right, so now, considering the first game was wrapped up reasonably conclusively in some ways, Lucy's report and just Amelie's nature, I suppose, lead to some ambiguity, and also how Higgs, we didn't actually see what happened to Higgs, right? All we have are Fragile's word on what happened, and we sort of heard a gunshot. But so I guess in terms of story threads, that I'm curious about where they go. Higgs in general, I would like it if Higgs wasn't in the game, because he was just, I know he was deliberately written to be like annoying, so that he sort of obfuscated Amelie as the real architect of it all. But anyway, we hear that gunshot, and Fragile said he shot himself, but we don't necessarily believe that. There was always the feeling that Fragile and Higgs were more than just friends, considering how jaded she was towards him, bitter she was towards him. Felt like maybe that they were romantically involved at some point, so that's lingering there. But I mean, I don't know. a lot of Higgs's power was tied to Amelie, so how much more of a threat could he be if Amelie isn't sort of feeding him his powers in a lot of ways? So I'm not really sure how you could tie him back in without Amelie. Then we've got Amelie herself. So even though she made it, she made it sound like she was sort of sacrificing herself to not an eternity, but an extreme amount of time in isolation to cut herself off from the world to postpone the sixth extinction. She was very strategic in about some of the things that she did, right? And due to how like time is different on the beach, it's difficult to know how the predictive capabilities of Amelie and how she sort of bestowed the ability to repatriate to Sam, right? Because that's not something that occurred naturally for Sam. He was given that by Amelie, right? She brought him back to life after he was killed as a baby, and that's what gave him the power, as I understand it. So that might have been something she knew about all along, right? She might have. How orchestrated all this is what interests me, and that ties into Lucy's report, right? How Lucy, when she was pregnant and on her own while Sam was away working, and she started to have these visions of the beach and seeing Amelie, and Amelie says something to her about how their daughter, how the original Lou had Sam's blood and was special. That's what it says in the report. So if she has Sam's blood, that might mean she's able to repatriate as well. So I do think that there's a chance that Louise the First, right? If our child here, if BB is Louise the Second, the first Louise might be alive somewhere. She might be. I mean, this game is subtitled on the beach, so I mean, maybe the original Louise died but was still alive on the beach because of her being a repatriate. But I don't know, if she was a repatriate, she would have come back to life in a body. But maybe Bridget found her and took her somewhere else. I don't know what it would mean for Lucy. It's difficult to imagine that Sam's blood would have made Lucy a repatriate too. But it's possible, right? It's a grey area how it would have affected her. So I think those are the two story strands that... sorry, pardon the pun. Those are the three story threads that I think could carry on. I don't know what sort of time is going to have passed. It doesn't look like much time has passed, given Lou's looking at how old Lou looks here. So you could presume this is at most 2 years after the ending of the first game. So yeah, those I guess are our story predictions for where we could go. I've only seen one subtitle. There was a secondary subtitle on the PlayStation Store, which was "Should We Have Connected," which obviously hints at Amelie, the whole chiral network, just being a completely bad idea, right? And Amelie is playing some sort of different game here that we're not aware of. In terms of the playthrough, what I would maybe like is, I think, reflecting on my playthrough of the first game, I don't think I used all the game systems as much as possible. So for this, I would like to at least experiment with everything as much as I can. Not sort of try something, not like it, and then write it off. I didn't use certain mechanics because I found other stuff more useful, right? I'd like to just try a bit of everything, try and be a bit more complete in how I approach the game. And also because I think I cut a lot of deliveries out of the original playthrough. I think that playthrough is only 20-30 parts long because I did a lot of 100% in doing deliveries and stuff. But obviously I'm going to have to cut some of that out. So what I thought might be a cool idea, because I was speaking in the update video I did about, Let's Plays feeling like a book club. Maybe if you guys could suggest a few, if there's topics like related to the game, or maybe stuff that we're going to find in the journals and stuff, themes, you know, philosophy stuff, political stuff, I don't know, stuff that we might be able to have just a discussion about on some deliveries, right? Because I don't want to cut everything out. There will be some stuff if the gameplay is similar to the first game. I have no idea. It might not be. But if it is, then and we're doing long deliveries that might be repeating over paths, yeah, it'd be nice to have some stuff to discuss that, you know, that is topically related to the game. I don't know. It's just an idea I had. But yeah. So I'm just going to have a mess around with the options and then we'll start the game. Okay guys, a couple of decisions that are just going to affect the way the game looks. I'm going to be playing on hard difficulty, which is called brutal, which doesn't help. I've got the quality mode on because the performance mode doesn't let it doesn't put it at 4K on the monitor, so I'm a bit frustrated about that, but we'll have to see. I don't know how. I don't think the game's a particularly fast-moving game. So if it does drop to 30 FPS and stuff, then we'll just have to see how it looks with that. But the major thing is, guys, I am playing this offline. I've made this decision. This was like an important decision for this. I feel like the first game, being online, didn't really add much to the game other than lessen the difficulty of certain bits. There were way too many spoilers, way too many inconvenient structures, bridges, cars, bikes in the way, signs everywhere. I feel like it cluttered the experience, and I've been playing the first game on PC offline, and I think it's much better personally. But you'll have to tell me, guys, does that ruin it? Because I don't know. I think it's fine without that stuff, but that's a personal preference of mine, but I'll see how it goes. Yep, auto-saving, yes. Yep, we're going to go brutal. And we can change it if it's too hard. Yes. It is said that a person's birthday will indicate their path in life. Research has shown that it can determine a person's experience of dooms into your birthday and see what the future has in store. Alright, I'll put my actual birthday in. Wait a minute. Is it done it the American way round? No, it's not. No, wait, it has. Month, day. Ludicrous. Yes. Whilst dooms can afflict almost anyone, those born under the constellations with a greater connection to the beach, including Cancer, Pisces, Cetus, Delphinus, are said to be more susceptible to developing the condition. Right, well, I'm Capricorn, so that's me out of the question. It's believed that such individuals are fated to walk a life path fraught with disquiet and turmoil. Gameplay recording? What are you talking about, man? Once there was an explosion. A bang that echoed around the world, a phenomenon known as the Death Stranding. Beached things, or BTs, lost spirits of the dead, found their way into our midst. When they came into contact with the living, the result was an instant annihilation, a void out. Since most could neither see nor sense BTs, people lived in fear of them, withdrawing from the outside world. Cities became isolated and humanity crept towards extinction. To unite what was left of America, a porter named Sam forged a bond with a bridge baby called Lou, who possessed a special connection to the other side. Together they journeyed west across the continent, reconnecting the people through the chiral network. But on the day that the United Cities of America celebrated the nation's rebirth, Sam and Lou vanished without a trace. Though UCA officials attempted to track them down, the pair's whereabouts remain unknown. Okay, that is not good. 11 months. Okay. 11 months later.
Me? I've always loved porters.
Roger.
Through freezing rain and biting wind. Across rivers, mountains, and endless deserts. They come to deliver something priceless. A glimpse of a life I've never known. They're my window. My sole connection to the outside world. And I know they'll be back again. Today.
Minus 61. Have I ever really loved someone? Do I deserve what I've got? Now the crazy system's turned into traps and the fear is switching sides. I own $1 million worth of stock, but I still won't sleep at night. What is it that I've become? Minus 61. Now the water level rises high in my cold paradise, where men sit in circles and talk numbers I never really liked. The way they think of life as some kind of gamble and watch the city drown. Where is it that I belong?
Like a new company.
Minus 61. Now the wind cuts the leaves like a knife, and the sun is out of sight. I see the world I built to lose at the trial, what is left and what is right. I made the worst mistake one can make, pretending and playing blind. What is it I'm trying to find?
Okay.
Oh my god. Looking good, Sam. Looking good, Lou. What does it say on the back? PAC. So this is our home. Proceed along the ridge. Yes. I will be walking a lot. We don't need to rush, right? I don't really know where we are. So it's quite dry, quite mountainous, so... Well, I mean, America's got every type of weather biome type, right? So. Right, we've still got the Odra deck that functions. Right, the weapon and tools menu. Yep, to use this menu, quickly switch between weapons and tools, select a category, and use L1 and R1 to cycle through your options. Finally, press X to equip. Yep. Right, so we've got a single ladder. We've got our strand. We can take a Wii if we need to. We don't have any. Right, so it's sort of split into categories. Right, so we get to the category and then we go through with L1 and R1. So we've got 3 climbing anchors and... No, we've got 6 climbing anchors and 2 ladders. We've got our normal strand, and we can take a piss, and that's it. Okay, so that's a little bit different. So that's the normal pause menu. Right. Whoops. We can't...
Hello!
Nope. Photo mode, yeah. Sorry. So we feel a lot more agile when we've not got much to carry. We've got BTs in the... Don't think we're going to pass through them on the way home, I don't know. We're about a kilometre, as I should say, away. Finding a safe route, yep. Scanner. Avoid the yellow, aim for the blue. We've been this way before, judging by the footsteps. We found a blood bag. So really we want to go this way. Aerial... What did that say? Aerial camera? Oh, right. Oh, that's sick. Better not fall over with Lou outside of a pod. Right, just a few ladders that I guess we could have used to get across it. Okay. Didn't really have a day-night cycle in the first game, did we? Okay, so we need to be told that we can use that aerial camera. Potential Great Quake detected.
Feel that.
We've got earthquakes. 4 on the G scale. Wow.
Oh shit.
All right.
Okay, you're all right.
All right. I'm basically doing the same thing that the earthquake would have done, but sure. Look at them teeth. Oh, she just got the bottom too. Da, da, da. See the sunset. The day is ending. Let that yawn out. There's no pretending. I will hold you and protect you. That's all I can remember.
Let's go home and get you fed.
So that was a measuring at a 7. Obviously there were avalanches in the first game, but I'm not sure if they were quite like that. Yeah, it was just sort of like the rocks that were there that wasn't as risky to... It didn't like shake everything like a proper earthquake. Right, we need to probably find a better way down here. Yes. I imagine they're going to have to change the way Sam falls in terms of the animation. We've got just like an exposed baby on the front of us. Yeah, let's head down below. Some chiral crystals there. I don't know if we can collect them. Don't we need a special container? Yep, chiral crystals are made of a mysterious substance that becomes buoyant when assembled in bulk. Every 1,000 cg of chiral grams of chiral crystals that Sam carries will reduce his load by 1 kilogram. Oh, interesting. Buoyancy. We don't really need another ladder, but why not? Using ladders. Yep. Cryptobiotes. Yep, they restore Sam's blood levels. To eat cryptobiotes, open the weapons and tools menu. Yep. They're down here with the blood bag. Might as well equip the blood bag. And then, yeah. I'll try to be steady with the camera. If we are, obviously I don't know what the frame rate is on PlayStation.
Great. Rain. Gotta move.
So if we're in a desert, that means we're at the very least in Texas, the Texas area, right? Or Nevada or something like that. I mean, I'm presuming we're in America, but... halfway there. So we're maybe just a freelance porter now. We probably just take jobs from different companies. What does it say on his back? Something public assisted company. Let's sprint then, try and get Lou out of the rain. We have to worry a lot more about Lou's general safety now that there's no pod to protect her, right? I think we are going to run into BTs though. It's the full tutorial experience. Let's try and stick to the low ground then.
Fuck this.
Can't build any shelters. Don't have any container repair spray. I don't think we've got anything to drink either, have we? Yep, a tardigrade-like organism that was first identified after the Death Stranding. Eating one will immediately restore Sam's blood levels and refill the consciousness gauge. Yep, same as before. But won't do anything for our stamina levels. I think we're about to run into some BTs.
Break.
Kind of looks like they're gathering around our home, to be honest. Okay. How deep is this? This looks very deep. Yeah, let's stick to the blue bit. Okay. We're going against the flow. Okay, that was noticeable then. Nearly there, Lou. I think we need to get up this ridge, though. Lou doesn't like being near the rain at all.
Fuck this.
Okay. Yeah, we're in trouble here. I think we need to get up the ridge. Rather than follow the river. Okay, this is really tricky to traverse, isn't it? Yeah, nightmare. I should have followed the river, I think. Yeah, this is really tough. Wow. We're so close! Oh, Blue! Alright, we just crushed our child. Okay, this is a problem. I should have followed the river. Okay, I'm not supposed to go this way. I'll take the hint. Right, I've taken so much time that the music has stopped. Right, let's go and follow the river. I guess we could just sit in the river and let it carry us downstream, right?
Almost there.
Careful, Luke. Yeah, I should have followed the river, sorry. That looks like a main bridges facility.
There, we made it.
Might not be bridges, right? Some other company anyway. Is this like a cave or an actual shelter? The BTs are protecting Sam, maybe? Oh, right, they were holograms. So it's all fake, right? Completely isolated. Oh, this is copyright central, this, isn't it?
Not bad, little porter. Not bad at all.
He's got pictures of himself on his own.
Come on, open up. There you go.
A unicycle. Looks like fragile. The otter. It's just fragile, surely. Come on now, Sam.
Who's there? Who are you? Fragile?
Were you cooking?
What are you doing here?
Because I'm free.
I've been looking for you.
Nothing's worrying.
Oh man, how can you make... It's very difficult to make Leia Seydoux look a bit creepy, but that'll do it.
Wow. Lou's growing up fast. You two look good. Like a happy family. Here's a gift. The finest Carol printed diapers.
Thank God. How'd you track us down?
Your neighbor got hooked up to the Carol network. Service now extends to the whole region. I let myself in with this. You can use Carol printers now too.
Guess it's time we thought about moving. Maybe further south. You know, I'm surprised you used the front door for once.
My jumping days are behind me. Overdoing it left me with some kind of syndrome. They call it jump shock.
You care for a drink?
Thank you, but no. I should get straight to the point.
Business, huh? I mean, for a moment there, I thought maybe you wanted to catch up.
I have a job for you. Take it, and that whole mess over how you left bridges will be wiped from the record. You won't have to live in hiding anymore.
What about Lou?
Yeah, it's illegal to take
That's
the
a little
BBs
more
out.
complicated. We're talking about a bridges asset. You'll have to work it out. Sam, you brought America together. Helped it be reborn as the UCA. But I'm afraid the Death Stranding is far from over. Humanity is still in danger. Still on the brink of extinction. Don't act like you don't see it. A lot of things changed after you went off on your own. Especially within the UCA. Bridges no longer oversees the distribution network. They withdrew once things were up and running. So your friends and co-workers all went their separate ways. And that's not all. Die Hartman is not the president of the UCA anymore.
Okay.
In case you're wondering who's handling distribution now, a Pass 4000 has revolutionized the whole process.
Automated.
It utilizes the chiral network to manage and carry out deliveries.
Right.
Within network coverage, there's no need to rely on human porters anymore. And no need for Fragile Express, of course. So
That's it.
after I closed up shop, I went and started a new group. One that handles work in regions outside the UCA.
Drawbridge.
We decided to call ourselves Drawbridge. And we still require the services of human porters that can work outside the network. Preferably ones with dooms who can sense BTs. Sam, I'm asking you to go to Mexico. To extend the chiral network to the south. Just like you did when you went out west.
You're asking, or is this coming from the UCA?
Both. The UCA came to Drawbridge, and now I'm coming to you. So, what do you say?
What? This was unexpected. Well, we know why it's us. It's the state of the environment.
Chiralium contamination is severe. Some areas have it worse than anything you experienced back in the UCA. The timefall storms are growing more intense as well. And, as you can imagine, everything in their path is subject to temporal acceleration. Objects and structures degrade rapidly, while animals and humans grow old and frail in the blink of an eye. Timefall often precedes the appearance of BTs there too. So you should do everything you can to stay out of it as much as possible.
Yes, Fragile, yes.
There are many other dangers though. The rivers can flood in an instant, and earthquakes happen daily.
Right. BTs?
Mexico has no shortage of beached things. Spirits of the dead washed up from the other side were stranded there just like everywhere else. Any human corpse that hasn't been properly disposed of will become a BT. And any living human that comes into contact with a BT will get dragged into the depths of the tar. Giant BTs can and will emerge from the tar as well.
That's
And
what
if
it's
they
saying.
succeed in consuming a living human being, they'll trigger a void out, destroying everything nearby in a massive explosion. Several Mexican cities were wiped off the map in this way. The survivors have since become divided and isolated. As most people cannot see BTs, they live in fear of them, and that fear has made them too terrified to venture outside.
Yep. Just same as it was in North America, right? I mean, it's obvious why me, but still. Weird, Sam's just standing there.
Seriously, why me?
There you go.
There are several reasons I thought of you for this job. Deadman, for one. He's currently working at a lab in southern Mexico. I don't know the details, but the research they're conducting there is important. Very important. And there are certain things he'd like to tell you in person.
Anyone else there?
That was one reason. You got more?
I do. And this one's serious. There is some BT territory near that lab I mentioned. They monitor the chiralium levels, and recently, they've observed unusual activity. The cause is still unclear, but they seem to think there's a good chance a massive BT is headed their way. And if they're right, then I want you there, ready to kill it before it kills them. Don't forget, Sam. You were the first person in the world to ever take out a BT.
Yeah, I mean, why are you still doing this, I guess?
I guess that makes sense. But something's still bugging me.
What?
All this talk about extending the network into Mexico. Isn't the UCA basically expanding their territory? Taking control? Claiming it for their own?
Sam, it's not like that. They're not trying to take over the world. They just want to link up new areas with the chiral network. Like the internet before the Death Stranding. Public infrastructure to connect people. Which is why, instead of turning to an established government agency like Bridges, the UCA contracted a private organization, like ours, who then decided to employ the services of a freelancer like yourself. So please, Sam, won't you help us out?
I don't think Sam would agree to it, to be honest. But Lou is a bit older, but I don't want to. Am I going to get roll credits? Oh, don't do this. Is that literally a hard reset, or is she going to come back? I'll see if this is different.
Not bad, little porter. Not bad at all. Okay, Lou. Time for some nom-noms.
It's literally just going back, or... No, it is a memory. Fair enough. I'm sure there's some funny stuff if I say I won't do it again, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, all right.
So you'll do it?
Uh-huh. What about Lou, though? It's not like I can take my kid with me. If I do this, can you hold the fort for me while I'm gone? Play babysitter?
We're inside the network. There's a child care app I can use. It'll be fine. The lab is only a few days away. I promise he'll be back before you know it. Link up the region as you head south, and come home safe. We'll be waiting.
All right.
Some time for Port of the Year. Okay, pretty inauspicious so far, right? It's like we're a couple.
Go on. Slide it on your thumb.
Right, instead of the handcuffs.
Like a ring?
Try sticking your thumb out, like you're giving me a like.
Wait, what?
Access your ring terminal to view the map. From here you can check order details as well as the cargo for delivery. Now then, let's review the mission that you'll be undertaking on behalf of Drawbridge. Your destination is a research lab in southern Mexico. When you arrive, you'll need to use the Cupid to connect it to the chiral network. Chiral communication utilizes the beach, where time barely passes. Using the Cupid in conjunction with the delivery terminal will allow us to initiate a zero-time massive data transmission. But because of the distance, it's not feasible to head straight to the lab to establish a connection. You'll need to use the way stations to extend network coverage until you're close enough to get the lab online. Your first stop is C1, Ciudad Nuda del Norte. Bring them a delivery and welcome them into the network.
Oh.
Improper corpse disposal remains a serious problem in Mexico. With every additional corpse that spawns a BT, the risk of a void out grows even higher. C1 in particular is struggling to handle this issue. But once they're online, we can give them the technology they need to address the situation. Why don't you take a look at the cargo you're carrying by opening the menu?
C1.
You can access useful information about your deliveries via your ring terminal.
Yes, yes, yes.
To review the cargo currently in your possession, select Cargo Management. This is the cargo you'll need to deliver. Be sure to get it to its destination in one piece. It's an excellent idea to place the most important cargo in your backpack. We've given you some additional equipment. It can be carried in pouches or in special hooks, just like cargo. All these weapons can be used to incapacitate humans without killing them. So there is no need to worry about causing a void out. Be sure to weigh your various options as you load up.
Right, let's stick that on the tool rack. Got a Maser handgun. A handgun that electrocutes close-range targets. The trigger must be held down to build up an electrical charge before firing. Try a taser. It produces no noise, making it well suited for covert operations where silent takedowns are a necessity. It can be stored in the handgun holster. Convenient, nice. Yep. A bag of blood that will restore Sam's blood levels when connected. Automatically replaced when they're empty. A 10-meter ladder that can be deployed to scale cliffs or cross rivers. Two ladders can be joined together to double their length. That's new. The deployed ladder cannot be recovered once it's been used.
Return to the menu when everything looks good to go. Finally, before heading out, make sure to plot your delivery route.
Yep.
Return to the map. See your destination? There's a river you'll need to cross to get there. There are bandits in the area too.
Right.
Armed groups that have attacked porters in the past.
Oh.
Think about what route you might take from your current location.
Bandits? Why? Why bandits, man? I just... Oh, can't the environment just be the challenge? Right, hold square to start drawing a route. Try drawing a route all the way to your destination. Right, so I'm just going to avoid... Well... There's like a wall. So... There, looks like they control the only bridge, so... We should be able to stay on the... Well, I guess this will be the eastern side of the river. So I guess we just follow the river, really. Oh, we can turn the map, actually. Fair enough. Right, so we can follow the river to here, where this looks like a massive waterfall. So there is a much more gentle path down this way. And then we can maybe sneak into the camp from this western side. Or... now we can see the topography a lot clearer. We could come down this side and do the same thing. It's like they've got a barricade. Right, so if we choose the eastern side, it means we don't need to cross the river. Right, okay. Well, here we go.
Commencing route creation.
So we'll head over here first.
When you plot a route on the map, you'll see what hazards you may run into along the way. You can face these challenges head-on, or try to find a way around them. How you get to your destination is up to you, but think it over before getting underway.
Yes, I'm aware. Right, then I think we'll try and veer off to this canyon on this side. Take the softer way down. Yeah. And we'll make our way... we could use a climbing anchor to get down here. I don't know if we've still got them. We had some when we came in, but... we'll make our way here. And then we'll try and... come down this way. Make our way down through this canyon. Before we sneak our way into the camp.
Delivery route finalized.
There we go. That sounded like Gaia from Horizon. Right.
Latest model Cupid. Just completed. We decided to put a hold on network expansion until it was ready to go. Like last time, you'll be using it to welcome people into a whole new world. It won't be any harder than before either. The Carol network terminals are ready and waiting. Bridges saw to that. Emily's expedition split into two groups midway. The first continued west, while the second cut south into Mexico. But again, they were only able to lay the groundwork. Until you bring those terminals online with the Cupid, the network can't grow. Hungry?
No.
Oh, come on.
No more baby food for you.
Let you get fragile any trouble, I'm gone. Don't you break my kid.
Now who wants to eat?
Can we use that unicycle thing that she brought? I would like that. Okay, so I'm guessing this is like the tutorial region, and that we might be heading to actual South America. So I don't have the climbing anchors that we had on the way here, unfortunately. Come on, where's that unicycle? Fragile!
Alright, let's get this done.
Okay, now it seemed quite straightforward, but there's going to be stuff we're going to need to deal with, I think. Yep, cargo scanner. You're able to detect pieces of cargo and other items that can be picked up. Nothing straight ahead or to the left. Second assault rifle, I'll take it. Don't tell me what to practice, man. Look, it's there. Dead easy.
Been a while since I held a gun.
Semi-auto, auto. Right. Can we auto manage? Yep. Oh no. Don't like when it's on the arms, but never mind. Right, so yeah, got some good options straight away, right? We're going to C1. I'm not going to be able to pronounce some of these Spanish names though. Oh, we've got our canteen now. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, so maybe we're similar to in the first game. You had that tutorial region that had like 4 or 5 places to connect to, and then you went to the main America map afterwards. Maybe Mexico will be the practice region, and then we'll actually go to full South America. So yeah, Central America is the practice region. Awesome. So I was...
Not bad. Not bad.
So I was curious beforehand if they were going to change the gameplay loop at all. Seems fairly similar so far, but we're obviously getting access to firearms and direct enemy contact sooner. Whereas I guess the direct contact we had with the mules was kind of stealth only, I suppose. In the first game, maybe? I know I'm going around the houses a bit here, but we can go whichever way. I'm glad they've changed it so you just compress the button once. Yes, 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 crypto biotes. It's like Mount Doom in the background. That was like a rainbow sound, or what I associate with that. Right, the signs menu. Yeah, right, we are offline, so less need to do that. Cargo, it's alright. Cargo management. Some cargo-related actions can be performed quickly from this menu. Use the right stick. Right. Oh, right, we can auto-arrange cargo. Oh, beautiful. Offload materials or delivery cargo. So offload everything. So we could do that if we need to be agile for a moment. Offload just the backpack. So if we've got like, yeah, if we just want weapons available. Offload unusables, right? So and things that are depleted of ammo or blood or whatever, and stuff that's broken or damaged by timefall, and just take everything off completely. And then that's just quick selective view cargo management. Oh, that's really useful. I appreciate that. And clothes, field wears, categorized. Yep. Right, so what have we got? Got our hats. I don't like hats on Sam. Sunglasses ruins the cutscenes. Okay. We've got a torch. Boots. And stuff for the hands and legs. Like power gloves or skeletons.
Let's go.
Yeah. Feels very much like most of the other PlayStation. I know it's not a PlayStation full exclusive, but you know, feels very consistent, like we're directly continuing on from the other game, similar to how God of War and Horizon and Spider-Man 2 felt, but just a bit smoother. Yeah, I'll try to be careful with the camera movement, because if we are closer to 30 FPS, which I don't know how the video is going to look because I'm capturing in 60, so I don't know if it's going to look a little weird.
Get up, Sam.
I've not seen any UI stuff in the top left, but try to be careful. Now, what have we got here? Is this like oil refinery stuff? Drillers or something? We'll have a look at the edge of the ridge. You might be able to see... Okay, that's a bit of a problem. I'm just going to go to the edge here so we can see the camp. The bandit camp. Wow. Heavies. They look like mules. They have faces. I was planning on going around the long way. Hold L1 to enter the compass mode.
Now.
Any enemies detected in compass mode will be marked. To deliver cargo safely, you'll need to remain undetected by keeping aware of enemy positions. I've only got one zoom. A grunt. Oh, sorry, I was moving slightly then. Surely we can see a few more. Maybe it's a draw distance thing. Oops. Oh, it's R1, sorry. Right, I'm going the long way around. So, I think we can still use the strand, but we've got that taser gun now as well, the mazer. I do think that was available in the first game, but not when I played it. I think it was maybe added in later. I can't remember. So we'll try and get down this ridge and come in from the side. Obviously there's going to be a fence all the way around, but there were a few holes we could already see, so... Oh my god, what's going on? A dust storm. Is that coming right for us? Like, I don't know if this is scripted or not. How dynamic are these, like, earthquakes and floods and stuff? That's coming for us, dude. Hold on, Sam!
You should have more faith in yourself.
Well, obviously there were those big sort of hurricane things that would happen whenever Clifford would appear over places in the first game.
Definitely not alone.
I imagine the kind of equipment that we've got at the minute might get reset once we get through this first area, but interesting. I'm all about sneaking through here. I really don't want to engage. Got ya. Another grunt. He's got an electric rod. No jokes. Yeah, it's a bit. The frame rate is a little nasty, but I'll try not to be too choppy with the camera movement. Boots. Break the eye line. I think he's coming over though. What's the difference? MP and RB. Suitable for, yeah. Oh, rubber bullets. And MP is... I don't know. Right, so we need to get to this walkway. Can't see any other enemies besides... Oh no, there we go. Staff card. That means we need entry. We are playing Metal Gear. Who spotted me then? Jesus, it's right there. I think I'm too far away. Yep. I have a feeling we're going to need some sort of key card, right? Obviously, I've not played the whole Metal Gear series, but I did play Metal Gear 2 and a bit of 1 when I was very young. When I was too young to understand what the hell was going on. So the key card stuff is sort of I'm aware of it. There's a post box over there, I think, as well. He's just sort of stood there now. Is he going to go back to his normal look? Maybe he can see my footprint, I don't know. I want to get moving though. There's lots of cars to provide cover, I suppose. Which way are you going, friend? God, we do leave a lot of footprints behind. That staff card is bothering me. I think we're going to have to contemplate taking that guy out. No one over here, weirdly enough. I'm just going to see if I can find this guy. There's our way through the fence. There's some long grass. Staff card. That's got to be important, right? Wait, what? Where's the staff card? No, he's got it. Right, I will try and obtain said card. Oh, this is much more complex, isn't it, in terms of dealing with these bandits. I wish they called them something else. Bandits is so generic in video games. Okay, friend. Time to have a little nap. Can I still kick him? No. Oh, it's a delivery thing. God's sake. Oh, there's a post box. I can't resist. There might be other stuff in there. Use our special ring. An air purifier. Right, I think we should take this stuff and the climbing anchor. Right, we've auto-arranged. Right, I'm happy with that. Let's try and get to the bridge. See, it said staff card. I thought it meant like an access card of some sort. There are other post boxes, but I think that's a little too high risk. I think we're well enough packed here. He's come down. I don't know if he's gone further away on the other side. What time are we on? We're near the 90-minute mark, but we'll go a bit longer for a part one. I think. Yes. Hiding with too much cargo, yeah. Sugar lumps. Get up there, Sam. We're crossing the bridge, dude. There's nothing you can do. Let's have a little drink then. Get a BT sandstorm. Okay, they're really using the triggers. Walking into a strong headwind is hard work, but a strong tailwind will speed you up.
Now leaving chiral network coverage.
Moving around during periods of strong wind will also drain your stamina. Yep. Right, so we need to really if we walk behind stuff, does the wind let up? Yeah, it does. Wow. Can't see anything. We're still a good distance away. Sam, really? We're getting hammered here now. Oh no. Final Fantasy X. It's the Thunder Plains. Yeah, move close to the wall of a structure to take shelter from the wind. Whoa! Wow. Ah, so they're really going for the weather systems, aren't they? So we can sort of see that it's the wind is coming from this way, so... If we walk this way, we'll go pretty fast. Sort of. Can't see any scans for enemies. Wow. Oh, this has completely changed the dynamic, right? I guess these storms can occur anywhere. That's a medium container, so there's going to be quite a lot of weight. Yeah, quickly adjusting your cargo. Fair enough. We're going the right way. We should try and get on the other side of this building to get the blocking from the wind. I'm guessing this particular storm is scripted. We'll try and cut through the buildings. Lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, right? The sun has begun to set. Okay. That was immense. Yeah, that's very deep. Whoa, let's have a little... How do I get rid of markers? There you go. Oh, climb is on square. No, we're okay. Let's have a sip. Yeah, so it's like the more traditional bridges setup, I suppose. If they're saying anomaly, set this all up too. Yeah, we're all covered in sand. So they're introducing like pretty harsh weather systems really early on, because
Not bad.
like in the first game, it was more or less the snow was the main thing terms of extreme weather. And that's a good chunk. That's like halfway through the game that you encounter that. So.
Good evening, Sam. ID confirmed. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Access the delivery terminal to process your orders and requests.
Everything sounds... The social strand service, oh god. Using the SSS, that doesn't sound oppressive at all. You can view messages sent by people from all over the world. Look back on the likes you've given to and received from porters in other worlds, and enjoy the screenshots you've captured in photo mode. Only screenshots taken by pressing X in photo mode can be viewed. Right, well I'm offline, so it's only me and Fragile. How does it feel to be back out there, Sam? I'll try to use the SSS to keep you up to date with everything over here. Lou was having fun playing around just a while ago. Now it's fast asleep in Dreamland. I'll send you another message soon, which you can check out on your Ring terminal. Don't worry, I'll take care of Lou. There you go. Oh, we've got some of our own picks. These are pretty recent. Why is he wearing... I always have a thing about people wearing hats indoors. I've never got it. I understand, like, you know, wearing a sun hat or wearing a winter hat, but when you get indoors, just take the hat off. Some stuff from the first game, yeah. Mountain, not city. Nice. The Bridge Links tab allows you to view various play statistics and look back on the likes you've given. Yeah. Right, well, we're not doing that. Yeah, let me know, guys, if you're playing the game and they've changed the online stuff to be a lot better than I felt it was in the first game. It's just, I remember in the first game there were so many random bridges and people would leave like big delivery trucks right at the entrance of places and bikes, and there'd be ladders in stupid places and signs everywhere, like, and it just sort of breaks the immersion a bit for me. Similar in some of the From Software games, right, where you see the ghosts around and signs, and it spoils things a bit or gets in the way or clutters up the beautiful landscape a bit. So it will make the game a lot harder, I realise that, but here we go. The big tunnels are back.
Decontamination in progress. No anomalies detected. Welcome, Sam.
Here we are. Right. Let's deliver everything. Sand in every orifice.
You must be Sam. It can't have been easy to come this far south. You're here to bring us onto the chiral network, right? Ah, that's a relief. We'll be able to dispose of corpses properly once you've got us online. That'll be one less thing for our residents to worry about. Anyway, I believe you have some cargo for me, yes?
Yes.
I realize it could not have been easy to come all this way, but you would never know it by looking at this stuff. Thank you.
Okay, it's very familiar.
We
even.
wrote this stuff off as lost. Thanks for bringing it in.
No worries.
It's just like everyone says. You're a man that people can rely on.
How would you know? You're not on the network, man.
Okay,
Norberto Puente.
use your Cupid to bring us online. The chiral gateway you brought us should allow us to establish a connection between Mexico and the UCA. And with state-of-the-art tech at our disposal, we can finally solve a lot of our problems.
Look how much sand is on Sam. I should have put your goggles on, Sam. I'm really sorry. Oh, no, no. Look, I mean, look how many bits are across Mexico here. So maybe we're not going south. I don't know. Roberto Puente.
Chiral network coverage successfully expanded. Commencing data collection.
There's another camp as well.
Now displaying your current order grade.
A silent handler.
Porter grade increased. Congratulations.
Yep, every evaluation you receive as a porter will contribute to your overall porter grade, calculated by APAS. This provides a snapshot of your experience as a porter, as well as your delivery style. It's calculated from the number of likes Sam receives during the course of an order. Yep.
Chiral network connection confirmed. And now we can begin fabricating the latest corpse disposal equipment. Until recently, we've been dealing with our dead by burying them in tar, but that solution was growing untenable. We should be okay moving forward. I really can't thank you enough. You must be exhausted after your long journey. We've prepared a private room for your exclusive use. There are countless dangers in these parts. You should rest until you're fully recovered. Don't push on until you're ready.
Yes, thank you.
Please, stay here before you set out again.
Yes, do you know Die Hardman? Right, what was up with the corpse disposal?
As I mentioned before, we've been taking them to a nearby tar pit and dropping them in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we took it too far. And it wasn't long before the whole pit turned into a BT area. In trying to prevent the emergence of BTs, we ended up facilitating their creation. And with the constant timefall in the vicinity, chiral contamination has only grown worse. All these problems have contributed to an increased suicide rate, which in turn has resulted in even more bodies that we've had no way to dispose of properly. But thanks to the chiral network, we can now fabricate the corpse disposal facilities that we lack. Everything's going to be all right.
I mean, surely this place shouldn't be here then, unless we've got here within like 24 hours of that tar pit being unusable.
Well, our corpse disposal problem is no longer an issue thanks to you. But there's nothing we can do to get rid of the BT area we created. Fear of BTs and damage from timefall and chiralium exposure will continue to be a concern. And let's not forget about the bandits willing to attack travelers and facilities. But so long as we remain connected to the network, we'll have access to new tools and technologies to help combat these threats. You brought us more than a connection to the outside. You brought us hope.
Okay, mate, thanks. Okay, yeah. Huh. Okay, so this is sort of very much of a muchness at the minute. We don't really know what the greater issue is until we go and see Deadman, really.
Thank you again for everything.
Yeah, alright, mate.
I'll get started right away on preparing your next order for you. By the time you wake up, it should be good to go. You'll just need to access the delivery terminal here.
God.
I hope I can count on you.
Was this guy raised by Die Hardman, the way he explains things? Okay, a little different. A little homier.
Please relax and enjoy your stay.
Yes. Yes, we need a shower. Sand in your eyes, Sam. Right, so, we'll try and read stuff as well, obviously. Oh, we don't have a shower, do we? Oh yeah, we do. God. Skills have improved. Interesting. All we can click on is the shower, so... Right. Stats. Right, view Sam's delivery, combat and stealth stats. Higher stats indicate greater proficiency. Right, so we've got traversal endurance, carrying capacity. You can go all the way up to plus 30 kilos. Terrain traversal. Sam's proficiency at negotiating rough terrain. Traversing natural obstacles like slopes and rivers will improve this stat. Okay, so like passive level ups. Endurance. Resisting fatigue while travelling. Running for extended periods will improve this stat. Slowing the rate at which Sam accumulates fatigue. Oh, I never run. KO resistance. Resisting enemy blows and electric shocks. This is already at level 3. Lung capacity. Right, holding his breath. Yep. Strand skills. Covert operations. Repeatedly binding enemies from behind using his strand. Okay, only the strand though. Right, melee combat. Defeating enemies in unarmed combat or using... Oh, we do get melee weapons. Interesting. The melee weapons are less likely to break. Handguns. So... Yeah. Maybe there's other handguns other than the mazer gun. Yeah, assault rifles, and that's it. And there's some ones we haven't unlocked. The corpus. In the corpus, you can review the story so far, examine terminology, check the controls, browse the gameplay tips, and it's divided into tabs. Story view, the data bank, and the control tips. Got ya. Oh my god. So, I'll have a read of all of these, to be honest. Let's just see if we can find any new stuff. Right, so, what are we on? We're nearly at the 2-hour mark now. So, we'll just spend 10 minutes or so reading through the data bank here, because I didn't do a good job of keeping up with that in the first game, and I ended up reading way too much, like all in a short period of time. Porter and Doom sufferer, Sam Porter Bridges, who was once a member of Bridges. Sam's Doom's abilities allow him to sense the presence of BTs, but it's his ability to repatriate that makes him particularly noteworthy. Repatriates, such as Sam, can't die. Even when caught in void-outs, and always return to the world of the living. Sam crossed North America from east to west with his BB Lou for company and connected the entire continent to the chiral network. He also saved Amelie, who had been abducted by terrorists. Well, with help from Fragile and his Bridges colleagues, Sam took on and defeated a number of BTs as well as his nemesis Higgs. After establishing the UCA, Sam left Bridges without informing anyone. He's now considered a fugitive, and as such, he and Lou have taken to living a reclusive life close to the Mexican border. Yeah, what was interesting, I suppose, in that intro cutscene, at the end of the first game, we saw the 5 what looked like previous extinction entities floating in the sky when Amelie tried to separate herself from her beach from everyone else's. But at the end there were like what looked like hundreds of other entities in the sky, which is a scary thought. Bridge babies, or BBs, are BT sensors that were developed by Bridges, unborn human babies that are removed from their brain-dead mothers after 7 months gestation. They're placed in pods which recreate the conditions of the womb. There they're connected to the beach and are able to detect BTs. Connected the umbilical cable to a BB's pod allows it to share what it has sensed with the human user. Bridges considered BBs to be pieces of fieldware. Each BB has therefore been assigned a serial number in the format of BBXX. This designation is intended to prevent users becoming excessively emotionally attached to their BBs. A bridge baby with the serial number BB28. When Sam first encountered BB28, the unit had been deemed surplus to requirements and earmarked for disposal, but the two formed a bond and Sam took the BB with him as he crossed the North American continent. At some point along the way, he stopped calling the unit by its serial number and started using the name Lou, instead Louise. After the UCA was established, Lou was declared non-operational and was once again condemned to incineration. With Deadman's help, however, Sam faked Lou's disposal and removed the bridge baby from its pod. Ordinary BBs can't live outside their pods, but by some miracle, Lou survived and started to develop like a normal newborn baby. The pair went into hiding in a reclusive bunker on the Mexican border while the UCA searches for them. So I guess that was a question at the end of the first game, whether, briefly anyway, whether BB-28 could actually be Lou, Sam's actual genetic daughter. But I don't think the timelines line up, age-wise. But, I mean, because Lou survived coming out of the pod, which Sam did as well, you could speculate that somehow Amelie, with the sort of weird time element of the beach, whether Lou could have been made into a bridge baby and it was all plotted out by Amelie, but that's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? But it's worth considering, right? Because BBs don't live outside the pods usually, and the only two that have are Sam and Lou. So. Right, Fragile is a high-level Doom sufferer with the ability to jump, allowing her to use the beach to transport people, objects, and herself great distances instantaneously. She's currently suffering from jump shock, however, and is unable to use this power. How convenient! Fragile was once the leader of Fragile Express, a private delivery organisation, but her one-time friend Higgs exploited her powers and involved her in a terrorist plot to destroy an entire city using a nuclear weapon. Higgs also tortured Fragile by subjecting her body from the neck down to timefall. Fragile approached Sam to get revenge, but cooperated in his mission to traverse the continent and establish the UCA. After Fragile Express was disbanded, Fragile set up a new organisation called Drawbridge. Ugh, Die Hardman. What has happened to you, John? Prior to the Death Stranding, Die Hardman was a Special Forces soldier in the US Army, serving under Captain Clifford Unger. He was given the nickname on account of his ability to survive any situation. Obviously, I'm joking about Die Hardman because of how often he rings you, but the voice actor did just the actor, I guess it's his likeness as well, did a wonderful job. Particularly in those scenes at the end of the game. He really sold the performance. After the USA was destroyed, Die Hardman became the commander of Bridges and dedicated his life to rebuilding America alongside President Bridget Strand. Following Bridget's death, Die Hardman supported Sam on his mission to connect North America to the chiral network, and once the UCA was established, became its first president. He has since stepped down, and his current whereabouts are unknown. Deadman, our buddy. As a member of Bridges, Deadman studied BBs and supported Sam on his mission to establish the UCA. Deadman initially told Sam that BBs are little more than pieces of fieldware and ordered him to dispose of BB-28. However, after helping the BB recover from autotoxemia, he began to empathize with it and eventually started referring to BB as Lou, just like Sam. Prior to joining Bridges, Deadman was a coroner and would often have to dismember corpses. He was born from an artificial womb and was given organs harvested from dead people to make up for the ones he was lacking. As such, he is a mixture of the living and the dead and does not have a beach of his own. This is a source of great distress for him, and Deadman himself has confided to Sam. This is what I would like to see expanded more in terms of seeing the NPC porters more and just them having maybe a bit more personality, a bit more. Yeah, I guess the automated ones will be in effect when places get connected. Porters deliver cargo to cities and other human settlements that have been isolated by the Death Stranding. Porters have a hard life. While chiral clouds make the use of drones and aircraft impossible, all deliveries must be made over land, where timefall and BTs pose a constant threat. It's little wonder that they are considered to be heroes for the work they do. Some porters work for Bridges or other private organisations, while others are effectively freelance operatives. The effects of chiral contamination have led some porters becoming addicted to delivering cargo. This is known as drone syndrome and has been observed in the mules who operate in the UCA. Norberto, who we just met. Norberto was a guard on the Mexican border, just like his father before him. After the Death Stranding, he continued to maintain the security of the border region even when the societies on either side had collapsed. A shortage of materials and equipment left the border security system on its knees. However, and the threat from extremists only grew until the situation became dire. It was around this time that the first Bridges expedition arrived, promising to bring the chiral network in the near future. Norberto therefore left the border where he'd been born and raised and moved to Ciudad Nudo del Norte, or C1, his hope that the chiral network will bring about the peace and security that he and his colleagues were unable to maintain. Continue to develop your connection level with him and his facility, and you might receive an automatic handgun. Okay, fair enough. BTs, or beach things, is a dead person that has crossed over from their world and become stranded in ours. Since the Death Stranding, a human's death has been understood as the separation of their car, the soul, from their their body. If corpses are not disposed of in a timely manner, generally within 48 hours, though individual circumstances vary, the process of necrosis begins. Incinerating a corpse will send the person's soul to the world of the dead. In the case of necrosis, however, the soul will mistakenly think it has a place in this world and will attempt to return to a body that no longer exists. The dead person is therefore stranded, without a place to go, hence the term Death Stranding. Right, bandits. A hostile group that are active in the former Mexico land. They are aware of the risk posed by void-outs and never use lethal weapons. Bandits are superficially similar to mules who operate in the UCA, but are fundamentally different. Mules are afflicted with drone syndrome. Their only goal is to make more and more deliveries, and they are particularly attached to their own cargo. The bandits' top priority, on the other hand, is survival. As such, they've been known to steal other people's cargo, making them an irritating presence for porters. Right, I don't think we need to read the tech stuff. Cryptobiotes, dooms. A strange condition that first identified around the time of the Death Stranding, dooms imbues sufferers with a range of abnormal powers. Although the exact nature of the condition differs from person to person, one symptom common to all doomed sufferers is a strong connection with the beach and the world of the dead. Coming into contact with things related to the dead, such as BTs and corallium, causes doomed sufferers to develop goosebump-like skin marks, a condition known as chiral rash. Yep, this facility. Chiral network gateway. Yeah, we know about that. Weapons, the porter suit. Yeah, this is sort of fairly obvious. The strand, yeah, it's got some blood in it. Right, we can read the chiral crystals one. This is probably relevant. Chiral crystals began to appear after the Death Stranding and are known for growing in distinctive golden clusters shaped like hands. When these clusters are tightly gripped, they crumble into chiral particles which can be collected using a special device. Chiral crystals possess properties unlike any other substance found on Earth and are used as fuel, raw materials in the construction of buildings and items, and to reduce the weight of objects. Having originated in the world of the dead, chiral crystals are most commonly found in areas of high chiral density such as BT areas. Chiral radiation produced by the crystals means that they can only be collected by doomed sufferers such as Sam. Large quantities of chiral crystals can often be found wherever a BT is defeated. Yeah, raw materials, yeah, the climbing anchor, ladders. 30 meters long, still the same as the first game. The canteen, an energy drink, it's not Monster Energy anymore. Blood bags, yeah, container repair spray. Okay, the different organizations. UCA stands for the United Cities of America. The Death Stranding led to the destruction of the USA, leaving its people and cities divided and isolated. Bridget Strand, the last president of the USA, excuse me, devoted her life to rebuilding America by reconnecting its cities. Sam worked with Bridges, an organization under the president's direct control, to connect North America to the chiral network. In doing so, he fulfilled Bridget's dying wish. Bridges itself, an organization under the direct control of the president, formed in order to rebuild the ruined USA. Bridges comprised several departments, including medical, corpse disposal, security, and so on. The largest of these departments was the expedition team, tasked with connecting North America to the chiral network. The first expedition, led by Amelie, set out to establish network infrastructure all over the continent. Upon reaching the west coast, however, Amelie was captured by terrorists. Sure she was. Sam was also a member of Bridges, but left following a tragic incident. 10 years later, President Bridget Strand called him back. Right, 10 years. I couldn't remember the time jump from when Lucy died. So it was 10 years. So that would mean real life Lou. Sorry, not real life. Original Lou could potentially be 11 years old at this point. Roughly. Yeah. Bridget Strand called him back and asked him to cross the American continent and rebuild the country. Immediately after this request was made, however, Bridget died. Di Hardman took over, and under his direction, Bridges provided support for Sam as he used his Cupid to establish the UCA. Soon afterward, rapid advances in communications technology meant that deliveries could be automated, and human deliveries became a thing of the past. Interesting, because there was a whole thing in the first game about how people really liked deliveries being made by humans, and it comforted them, opposed to automated ones. The first expedition, a team formed to establish the infrastructure of the chiral network. They set off from Central Knot City on the east coast 3 years before Sam began his own journey. Excuse me. The first expedition was led by Amelie. The group split into two halfway through their journey, with one team proceeding toward the west coast and the other heading south toward Mexico. Amelie made it to the west coast only to be abducted by terrorists. Sam therefore set out on his own journey across North America, not only to establish the UCA, but to rescue Amelie. It's weird, we're getting like the propaganda version of this, right? Not what we actually know. Fragile Express, the Death Stranding, destroyed the United States, toppling its government and grinding its social infrastructure to a halt. In its place, private porters began allocating and distributing resources of their own accord. One such delivery organisation was Fragile Express, founded by Fragile's father. After he died, Fragile took control and continued where he left off. But the rise of APS eventually made the organisation redundant, leading to its disbandment. Drawbridge, a private delivery organisation recently established by Fragile. Since APAS has taken over deliveries within the chiral network, human porters are no longer required. Outside the network, however, they remain as essential as ever, leaving Drawbridge to conduct deliveries beyond the borders of the UCA. APAC, the Automated Public Assistance Company, is a private body that operates and manages the chiral network and APAS on behalf of the UCA. They're all like shadow organizations, right? That's not the right word. What's the term? You know, when companies make sister companies to like dilute their connection to them. What's the term? A shell company, is it? Is that's the phrase I'm looking for? Right, the beach. A place that exists between this world and the other side, between the world of the living and the world of the dead. It's connected to the consciousness of every human, and it's thought to exist exclusively to those born from humans. The beach exists in many different forms. There are beaches which exist on a higher plane to individual beaches shared by people who've died at the same time, and beaches used for chiral network data transmission. All of them differ in nature to ordinary spaces and locations. Time passes dramatically slower on the beach. A single second in the real world can last anywhere from several days to several years on the beach. Yeah, man. Original Lou could exist, right? I definitely think she could exist. And who like this says about the way time passes there, she could be any age. If she died but she's a repatriate, maybe she just stayed on the beach or something. I don't know. I mean, the beach is basically purgatory, right? Just the fact that they mentioned a single second in the real world can last anywhere from several days to several years on the beach. The chiral network, a comms network that's already proven essential in connecting isolated people after the Death Stranding and may yet save humanity. Yeah, we'll see about that. By transmitting signals via the beach, the chiral network can process and deliver huge amounts of data instantaneously, connecting the isolated knot cities of North America to the network. Along with its various prepper outposts, allowed the former USA to be rebuilt in the form of the UCA. Connecting a location using the Cupid allows it to access a variety of features. Holograms that are indistinguishable from the real thing, known as chiralgrams, can be transmitted within the network, and chiral printers can fabricate new materials. Chiral computers, capable of instantaneous mass data processing, can be used to recover data from the past that was once believed to be lost. APAS 4000. The Automated Porter Assistance System, officially titled APAS 4000, but commonly referred to simply as APAS, was originally developed as a support program for porters making deliveries within the chiral network. But the network's capacity to instantly transfer massive volumes of data meant that APAS developed rapidly and was, before long, managing and operating deliveries all on its own. As deliveries became entirely automated, Bridges withdrew from the delivery business, and private organizations such as Fragile Express disbanded. Porters were required to make deliveries outside the chiral network, however, which is why Fragile set up Drawbridge. They're repeating a lot of information here, so I'm sorry if I feel like I've said the same thing. Thanks to the chiral network's use of the beach, where time barely passes, APAS has become more than just a delivery system. It's now involved in all areas, life from child rearing to healthcare. Right, this is the last section. Phenomena. The Death Stranding, a phenomenon in which the dead cross over from their world and are stranded in ours, becoming known as BTs. When BTs came into contact with a living person, a large explosion occurs. Known as a void out, this releases a huge amount of destructive energy akin to when matter comes into contact with antimatter. Simultaneous void outs. Simultaneous? Which is the American one, which is the British one? Simultaneous, simultaneous. Simultaneous, I think, is the British one. I get crossed up. You get crossed up sometimes. Void outs across the world led to the downfall of civilization and have put humanity on the brink of extinction. Previous Big Five mass extinctions that cause enormous damage to life on Earth are no longer thought to have been caused by meteor impacts or climate change, but rather the phenomenon known as the Death Stranding. That's the least propaganda thing that they've said. A void out is a huge explosion that's triggered when a BT makes contact with a living human. The effect is similar to the concept of annihilation in particle physics, and an enormous amount of energy is released, wiping out almost all matter. Void outs often leave huge craters in their wake. When the Death Stranding first occurred, the phenomena now known as void outs were believed to be explosions caused by nukes, a misunderstanding which caused mass dread and chaos. The absence of radioactive material and the discovery of chiralium made it clear that the explosions were connected to BTs and the mass extinction events that had taken place in the past. Right, jump shock. A syndrome caused by performing repeated jumps to the beach. While it's clear that the syndrome is brought about by the accumulated strain that multiple jumps place on the body, the exact causes are unknown and no treatment has yet been developed. It's still possible to perform jumps while suffering from this syndrome, but doing so puts one's life at risk. Oh dear. Gate quakes. Earthquake-like phenomena that are triggered when matter passes through a plate gate. Unlike ordinary earthquakes, the strength of the shaking does not always correspond to distance from the epicenter, which could be considered the plate gate itself. The strongest shaking often takes place elsewhere at a seemingly random location. The seismic waves appear to be strongly influenced by the tar currents. In extreme cases, localized shaking affecting only a 100-meter radius has been observed. Gate quakes can also cause abnormal reverberations within the tar currents. This is believed to be the reason why strong quakes have occasionally been observed in areas that are very distant from the plate gates. Right, the ring terminal instead of the cufflinks. A data terminal in the shape of a ring. It records all manner of useful data, including the wearer's vital signs. Yes, like a Fitbit, but the thumb bit. You have ring versions of these now, right? In real life. Also used as a communications device, a connection to APAS 4000 allows the ring terminal to support Sam's activities in a variety of ways, such as providing him with maps as well as info on his orders and cargo. The databank you're currently perusing is another of the ring terminal's features. Right, we don't need to read tutorials or the story stuff, maybe a bit later. Right, let's have a shower. We'll need to wrap this up reasonably soon. We still get grenades? Okay. Some chiral crystals. Our sunburn is healed. Really? Fair enough. Right, let's have a kip. Now that we're clean, right? That used to bother me in the first game. Sleeping while we're dirty. We're going to get a dream sequence? Some beach sequences? Jesus.
Lou.
Are you alright? If you're worried about Lou, don't be. I'll admit, this stuff is pretty new to me, but the app has been a big help.
Yeah.
Figuring out why a baby's crying, getting the milk just warm enough. It's had the perfect advice for every situation.
Hi.
So, how does it feel to be back in the saddle?
Works same as it ever was. It's the first time I've been away from Lou.
We're fine. Trust me. Just focus on the road, okay?
Yeah.
We've not heard that dial-up tone from the thumbling.
Stamina at optimal levels. No irregularities detected at this time.
Private rooms, chirograms, patches. Entering a private room gives Sam a chance to have a replenishing drink, use the shower, toilet, sink, and sleep in a proper bed. Private rooms also allow you to examine your weapons and access a firing range. Test weapons. The screen image. We're online. I didn't give you my number, Norberto. We're finally connected to the chiral network. It's been 4 long years since the first expedition set up that terminal, and we've been waiting patiently to get hooked up. That's all humanity wants, right? Yep. Our facilities. Yep. APAC, yes. View messages across the chiral network. And APAC. Just open your ring terminal and select Corpus, Tips, view the delivery manual. Its contents will be updated based on the analysis of your various activities. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Chiral tea. God, don't drink 3 cans of this, man. We will need to piss immediately. Oh, God. Okay, so we've got to manage our own hunger, really. Yes, we can customize. Why not?
A new feature has been made available for use.
Yep, you can fabricate custom attachments, fit them to your backpack. Yep. Right, so we've got some custom patches. I like mushrooms. Let's go with that. Well, it does take up an actual slot, though. Right, can we customize this? Because that was like an unlock. Oh. Fair enough. I wanted to change the colour of the suit, but whatever. Right, if I can save my game here. Right, I've saved my game, so we'll pick it up from here next time, guys. A fairly low-key start to Death Stranding 2, right? I guess they're holding back what the bigger overarching things will be, right? For a little while. Now, there's a lot of other systems that might be in place, like hunger, sunburn. The weather effects seem like are a system that they've really pushed. We've been warned about earthquakes, or whatever they were called, the different name for it. The earthquakes, the flooding of rivers, and those huge sandstorms with the wind effects. So, yeah, that seems like something they're really emphasizing. Yeah, and we're heading south. So, yeah, we'll have to see where the actual main story bit goes when we get to Deadman. Maybe Mexico's the tutorial area, or maybe Mexico's where we're spending the whole time. I don't know. Right, we'll pick it up from here next time, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Excited to see where the story goes. Yeah, leave me a like if you did enjoy it, and just remember, everyone, never trust an on crate. I'll see you next time.